Now, the Good Party says it will not enter into any local government coalitions. Now, this despite winning seats in 12 municipalities where no political party won an outright majority. Good Party leaders say they will serve best on opposition benches. But for more on this, we're joined now by Good Secretary-General. That's Mr. Brett Herron. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Herron, and good morning to you. This is a definite decision you've taken. It's finalized. Why no coalitions for the Good Party?
Good morning, Tamela. Well, we considered all of the approaches that we received and the outcome of the results, and there were a number of case scenarios that we had to consider and come into this decision. Amongst them was whether how best we could serve the supporters the support that we received and the voters that we represented or represent in these councils. And the causes that we were championing throughout the campaign. And we concluded that the best way for us to continue to fight for the manifesto offering that we presented to voters and for better living conditions in the towns and cities where we live and where we serve is to do so as a constructive opposition rather than to be part of a unwieldy, potentially unstable coalition government cobbled together and being one or two seats in that government.
And let's just talk about some of the instability that you foresee here, perhaps with different political parties and what they were bringing to the table. What would be problematic, did you see, for the Good Party?
Well, first of all, we didn't get as far as negotiating the finer details of the coalition opportunities that were presented to us. But the offerings were not really based on delivery agreements or delivery outcomes, but in some cases on keeping another party out, in other cases was simply about being offered positions. So our starting point would have been, can we achieve a delivery agreement in a stable environment that would best serve the residents, also allow us to continue to grow as a political party, and to deliver on some of the promises or some of the positions and policies we presented to voters. And we concluded that entering any of these coalitions would not allow us to do that.
Yeah,
and that we would be simply taking up positions.
With that being said, were you approached, though, by any political party as yet to start, negotiations from their part?
Yes, we were approached. We were approached by more than one party, and the approaches were for specific municipalities in some cases, and in other cases for an in-principle agreement to be part of a coalition government. So we did have approaches, but as I say, we didn't get to the point where we were negotiating positions or the finer details of those coalition governments. We took an in-principle decision as our National Management Committee not to form part of coalitions.
Right. So with the stance that you're taking, I understand that you also have a performance management system that you have developed to almost ensure that councillors appointed do serve the people. They do, work as they're expected to by the Good Party. Tell us about this more, performance management system that you have developed and how it will work and exactly how you plan to hold councillors accountable.
So, we've been working on a performance management system that will ensure that our councillors are responsive to the communities we serve, that they are championing the causes that we were fighting for, that they're presenting these policy offerings in council debates and in policy discussions, and that we are pushing for essentially the four justices that we campaigned on: social justice, spatial justice, environmental justice, and economic justice. Under each of those pillars, we have policy positions, and we will be trying to drag governments across the finishing line to deliver on some of those key elements that we think are needed to fix towns and cities. So we're putting in place, have put in place, a performance management system for each councillor that will measure their performance, make sure that they're responsive to voters, and that they're contributing to the growth of our party, and particularly for support for those four justices.
All right, and we leave it there. Thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. That's Brett Herron from the Good Party. Thank you for your time.